Hey, greetings everyone. It's Glenn Kellaway coming to you from the basement. Hopefully, everybody is having a wonderful day. I am going to talk about greatest hits albums today. You know, when people ask me just a general question, what do you think about greatest hits albums? My typical answer is I don't like them. I don't like them because mostly I am a deep cut guy. The hits are okay, and then I would rather listen to the whole album with the hit on the album, and it just kind of all flows, you know? Hits albums don't have a flow to them. They, they're just the hits, like listening to the radio. So I typically say I don't like greatest hits albums. Then it's dawned on me when I'm looking through my CD and vinyl collections that for a guy who hates greatest hits albums, I seem to have a shitload of them. So I thought I better talk about them and why I like some and not others. Weird. But I pulled out 40, and I have a lot more. Like I didn't pull out like the greatest hits of Tommy James and the Shondells and the bunch of but there's just a bunch of them. The greatest hits albums I appreciate for two reasons. One, it's such a great collection of songs that I don't know. They seem like album cuts to me. Some of them, so I'm good if that makes any sense. Another thing is if I don't like a band like Tommy James and the Shondells, I don't have any of their studio albums, and I don't know if I'm interested in deep cuts from Tommy James and the Shondells. So I have a hits album, which is good for me. I'd be the same with the Turtles and kind of a lot of the '60s pop bands. But some like there's some that come out. I hate when a hits album. Bowie did one, the best of Bowie. It was called. They did edits on the songs. They made the single edits, and you didn't get the whole song. I hated that. Couldn't wait to get rid of that one. Same with the Who Hits 50. It's just got a great collection of songs on it, but you get a short version of some of the classic songs like "Who Are You" and "Won't Get Fooled Again." Like just ruin the whole song as far as I'm concerned. So those ones really get thumbs down from me. Some I didn't include. So what I did was I took 40 titles and I ranked 20 of them as my favorites. And I've got 20 others that are just kind of sitting here, and for some reason or another, they didn't make it. Like this is a classic, Billy Joel's greatest hits. That should be in everybody's collection. I've even got the first one's volume 1 and 2. I got volume 2 and 3. Dave Clark 5, the history of Dave Clark 5, kind of falls in the vein of what I was just saying. I don't have their studio albums, but they've got so many great hits. It's nice to have some kind of a hits album. The Dylan ones are classic. Bob Dylan's greatest hits, volume 2. I think there's a volume 3, which I don't have. Problem is, I listen to Dylan albums, so I very rarely play these, but they are amazing. If you're just a casual Dylan fan, highly recommend his greatest hits albums. One of my heroes in life, Jerry Garcia, the very best of Jerry Garcia. I consider this more of a comp because can anybody name me Jerry's first number one hit single? I didn't think so. So this is just a comp, really, of all his great songs. I guess they call it the very best, but it's not a greatest hits. The best of Sam and Dave. Again, that falls into that vein. I don't have any studio albums, but man, they're classic songs. They're classic. You got to have them. This was my introduction to Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I picked this up used, the best of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. So it gave me. I really wanted it because I'd fallen in love with that song Red Right Hand, and bought it because it was on here, and then fell in love with the rest of the stuff, and so it helped me become a Nick Cave fan. One of my musical heroes, Bela Fleck, Bela Fleck and the Flecktones. Again, this is called Greatest Hits of the 20th Century. And again, like Jerry, name me Bela Fleck number one hit, and I'll give you $1 million. But one of my favorite bands of all time, and it's such a great comp if you're interested in delving into this music at all. It's pretty cool. Joni Mitchell, hits. The only reason this wouldn't make my top 20 is because I listen to Joni Mitchell studio albums. But this has a great mix if you're just a casual fan and want some Joni. Chelsea Morning and Big Yellow Taxi and Woodstock, The Circle Game, Carrie, California, You Turn Me On my Radio, Help Me, Free Man in Paris, River. I mean, just it's Both Sides Now. It's a terrific hits album. Springsteen's greatest hits. Again, I listen to the Boss albums. I don't listen to the hits, but this does have some songs on it that I don't have, like Streets of Philadelphia and Secret Garden, Murder Incorporated, Blood Brothers. They're all songs I don't have on albums, so I'm kind of happy to have that hits one. How about the best of Dark Horse, George Harrison? There's some cool songs on here, but again, if I listen to George, I'm pulling out All Things Must Pass or one of those. Another great comp that probably should have been on my list, Simon and Garfunkel's The Best Of. This has 20 songs on it, and it's got everything you'd ever want for Simon and Garfunkel. So I kind of listen to this more than I listen to their studio albums, but their studio albums are amazing. So that could have made the list, but didn't. Casual fan of this band, Talking Heads. Greatest hits album, I think, is fine for me. I have another album, maybe Remain in Light or something, but I'm just not a huge fan, but I appreciate them and I like a lot of songs. So this one suits me just fine for Talking Heads. Who Hits 50, I mentioned. I hate when they edit the songs down, but I guess it makes sense. It's supposed to be about singles and 45s. Here's another great Birds album. This could have made my top 22. Birds' Greatest Hits. It's got everything on here, man. The Mr. Tambourine Man and Turn, Turn, Turn. All I Really Want to Do. Chimes of Freedom, 8 Miles High. Mr. Spaceman. You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star. My Back Pages. I mean, it's a great hits album. Canadian, Guess Who's Greatest Hits. Another fantastic hits album. These Eyes and Laughing and Undone and No Time. American Woman, No Sugar Tonight, Hand Me Down World, Share the Land, Hang On to Your Life, Albert Flasher, Rain Dance, Sour Sweet, Heartbroken Bomber, Guns, 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 Follow Your Daughter Home, Star Baby, Clap for the Wolfman, Dancing Fool. Every one of those songs a hit song. Great comp from Guess Who that didn't make my top 20. Another band I'm a casual fan of, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Greatest Hits. I think I got it for $1 somewhere. One of my favorite artists of all time and my favorite singer of all time, Ray Charles. Everybody should have a Ray Charles hits album. This covers George on My Mind, Unchain My Heart, Born to Lose, You Don't Know Me, Crying Time, Let's Go Get Stoned, I Don't Need No Doctor. What else is on here? Yeah, it's just great. Awesome. Ray. And one last one before I get to my ranking, The Cars' Greatest Hits. Another band I'm more of a casual fan of. I think I have the album Heartbreak City, maybe their first album or something on vinyl, but I don't listen to them at all. And the hits is good. So let's get to my top 20. Some of these are a bit obscure, but some are, I think, classics. One of my favorite bands of all time, so this is a welcome addition to my collection. Coming in at number 20, The Best of Delaney and Bonnie. This is a great comp. There's the Delaney and Bonnie there. I mean, one of the great bands of the late 60s and early 70s. I mean, they were so influential with Eric Clapton and, Leon Russell and all these guys all kind of came out of this whole scene in some way. Obviously, Clapton was a star before, but it certainly changed his whole shtick, musical shtick. But they've got Get Ourselves Together is on here, and what else? That's What My Man Is For, which is a great Bonnie song. Soul Shake was a hit. Never Ending Song of Love, which is a beautiful song. It's a great comp if you're interested in Delaney and Bonnie. Coming in at number 20. Number 19, The Pretenders. I always loved this one. The Singles, The Pretenders. I mean, this has got everything you'd ever want. I love their albums, so big fan. Stop Your Sobbing, Kid, Brass in Pocket, Talk of the Town, I Go to Sleep, Day After Day, Message of Love, Back on the Chain Gang, Middle of the Road, Show Me, Don't Get Me Wrong, Excellent, excellent, excellent comp coming in at number 19. Number 18, a more obscure artist, the best of Doug Somm and the Sir Douglas Quintet. She's about a mover. She was just walking down the street. Love that song from the 60s. She's about a mover. Great band. Doug Somm is just was a classic artist. This is a great comp. I'm thinking the reason that this should, oh, it's got Mendocino on it, but it doesn't have She's About a Mover on it. So anyway, Mendocino was a big hit for them. Doug Somm and the Sir Douglas Quintet, an album that I play quite often. That's why it made my list at number 18. Number 17, this is a fun greatest hits album. Jimmy Buffett, songs you all know by heart. Everybody should have this in their collection when they're sitting out by the pool in the backyard having a margarita. It's just amazing. Cheeseburger in Paradise, He Went to Paris, Finn, Son of a Sailor, Pirate Looks at 40, Margaritaville, Come Monday, Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes, Why Don't We Get Drunk and Screw, Pencil Thin Mustache, Grapefruit, Juicy Fruit, Boat Drinks, and Volcano. Fantastic. I love Jimmy. That's a greatest hits album. Sly and the Family Stone, amazing band. Now, I was just kind of on the fence about putting this one in the list, but it's such a great comp, so I wanted to turn people onto it. It's called Higher. It's a greatest hits album. I shouldn't call it a comp. Dance to the Music, sing a simple song, Everyday People, Hot Fun in the Summertime, Stand, Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself, Family Affair. All the hits are on here. It sounds great. Excellent, excellent greatest hits album. Toronto band. I had to include them. I'm a big fan. My daughters are big fans. My wife's a big fan. The Bare Naked Ladies. It was the first concert my daughters ever went to. I took them to Massey Hall to see the Bare Naked Ladies. And this one is called All Their Greatest Hits, Disc 1. But I don't think there's a Disc 2. I think it's one of those like Wilbury jokes with Volume 1 and 3. But, I mean, all the classics are here. Plus, they threw in a couple of live cuts, and this has got Jane on it, and If I Had $1,000,000, and Be My Yoko Ono, Brian Wilson, 1 Week, Pinch Me, Shoebox, Enid. This is a fun record, man. I love it. Love it. Okay, that was number 15. Coming in at number 14 is one of my favorite singer-songwriters, John Hyatt's Greatest Hits. This is a great comp, I wish I was quit saying comp. It's a greatest hits album. Memphis in the Meantime, Thing Called Love, which was a big hit for Bonnie Raitt, Slow Turnin', which was a big hit for John. Buffalo River Home, which is my favorite John Hyatt song, Feels Like Rain, Drive South, Lipstick Sunset, beautiful song with a great slide guitar from Ry Cooder. Have a Little Faith in Me, Angel Eyes, which was a hit for Jeff Healey, which was co-written by John Hyatt, and I can't remember the other gentleman who wrote it with him. But if you're interested in John Hyatt, this is a great place to start. Okay, number 14 that was number 14. Number 13, Jackson Browne, The Next Voice You Hear, the best of Jackson Browne. This is, again, this is great if you're a casual fan. I do listen to Jackson's albums, but the reason I picked this is because, again, my family, we were all big Jackson Browne fans, and when they came over, which they will be doing this weekend for Father's Day, and if we're sitting around playing game or talking or something and music's on, this gets put on quite often. So it's a great retrospective of Jackson's best, so definitely worth looking at. Another one of my favorite bands from the 60s, so many great hits, Mamas and the Papas. Mamas and the Papas, 16 of their greatest hits. I chose this one. There's a lot of greatest hits albums from Mamas and the Papas. Look for this one. It was re-engineered or remixed or remastered or whatever the hell he did to it by Stephen Hoffman from the Steve Hoffman Forms, and it sounds awesome. I mean, dedicated to the one I love. Monday, Monday, look through my window. California dreamin'. I call your name, my girl. Dream a little dream of me. Go where you want to go. Saw her again last night. Words of love. 12:30. Dancing in the street. Creek Alley. I mean, wow. These guys had a ton of great hits. This is an excellent, excellent greatest hits album. Okay, number 11 is another one that Steve Hoffman had his hand on and sounds amazing. There's a Super Audio CD version of this, but I don't have that. I just have the DCC compact disc, compiled and remastered by Steve Hoffman. The Zombies, greatest hits. Oh, these guys are amazing. She's Not There is on it, and Time of the Season, Tell Her No. I mean, they're the three big hits. It also includes Don't Cry for Me, I Can't Make Up My Mind, You Make Me Feel So Good, Kind of Girl, Leave Me Be, Sometimes, It's All Right With Me. Excellent. Another excellent, excellent must-have greatest hits album. The Zombies. Okay, we're down to the top 10. This is a classic. Must have, in my opinion. The Best of the Animals. This was the first. There's another one I've got called Retrospective, which is pretty good too. It actually is on Super Audio CD. Sounds good, but this is the classic one, and it just has so many great songs on it. You know, all their big classics: House of the Rising Sun, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood, We Got to Get Out of This Place, It's My Life, Bring It On Home to Me. I mean, another pretty much essential greatest hits album. Number 9, love this one, The Best of Van Morrison. Boy, they put this together. They did a great job. I'm trying to think of when this came out. Quite some time ago, but it is an essential greatest hits album as far as I'm concerned. It's got the early stuff with them, Gloria and Baby Please Don't Go. And then Bright Side of the Road is on here. Moondance is on here. Oh, I Told You Lately, Brown Eyed Girl. Stuff from Astro Weeks like Sweet Thing. Jackie Wilson Said is on here. It Stoned Me. Here Comes the Night. Domino. Wild Night, Cleaning Windows, which is one of my favorite Van songs. Excellent, excellent greatest hits album from Van Morrison. Strongly suggest. Another classic one, like the Animals one. This is like, when you think greatest hits albums, these are iconic. The Stones, big hits, High Tide and Green Grass. Man, I remember having this album when I was a kid, and all those inserts inside with the pictures of the Stones and stuff. I think I ripped those out and put them on my wall. But I don't have the vinyl anymore, but I do have this SACD that came out in 2002, I think. What can you say? Satisfaction, The Last Time, Tears Go By, Time Is on My Side, It's All Over Now, Tell Me, 19th Nervous Breakdown, Heart of Stone, Get Off My Cloud, Not Fade Away, Good Times, Bad Times, Play with Fire. I mean, get off my cloud, get off my couch, or your own couch, and go out and buy this. It's fantastic. The Stones. Okay. That was number 8. Number 7, The Kinks. Again, there's a few hits albums from The Kinks. This is my favorite one. The Kinks, the singles collection. It goes right back to their first releases early with Long Tall Sally and You Still Want Me. And then right from You Really Got Me right up to Ape Man and whatever. It includes everything in here. Waterloo Sunset, everything you'd want to know from one of the greatest bands on the planet, the Kinks. You got to have a Kinks hits album. You got to. Okay, one of my top 3-4 bands of all time. Absolutely love them. The Grateful Dead. The very best of the Grateful Dead. This is a 2 CD comp that came from Rhino. It's got basically the 2 songs that would be considered hit, I guess, that were, well, Touch of Grey was a big hit, only big hit Grateful Dead ever had, and Truckin', I think, was a minor hit. At least it got played a lot on the radio. Whether it moved up the charts or not, I don't know. But this is a great selection of songs. Casey Jones and Uncle John's Band, Friend of the Devil, Eyes of the World. I mean, Fire on the Mountain, Ripple. Awesome comp. The very best of the Grateful Dead. Great. There I go saying comp again. Great greatest hits album. Next, at number 6. That was number 6. At number 5, Donovan's Greatest Hits. Another essential album I suggest everyone get. This is an awesome greatest hits album. It's got everything you'd ever want on here. I'm a big fan of some of the studio Donovan albums, especially Mellow Yellow and Sunshine Superman. But this comp has a lot of great songs on it and includes Season of the Witch, which is awesome. Yeah, this was a reissue of this album. So the original album had Mellow Yellow, Colors, Hurdy Gurdy Man, Catch the Wind, Lalania, Epistle to Bippy, Sunshine Superman, There's a Mountain, Jennifer Juniper, Where Your Love Like Heaven, and Season of the Witch. This CD included bonus tracks of Atlantis, To Susan on the West Coast Waiting, Barabajaggle, I said that right, Gene, and Ricky Tikki Tavi. But fantastic. Again, amazing. Number 4, The Doors, Best of the Doors. As much as I listen to Doors studio albums, this is a monster. This just had such a... Whoever put this together just chose every great song. Break On Through, Light My Fire is on here. People Are Strange. Love Me Two Times, 5 to 1. When the Music's Over is End Side 1, and The End Side 2. Riders on the Storm, L.A. Woman, Roadhouse Blues, Hello, I Love You. I'm sure everybody watching probably has this, and rightfully so. Number 3, I'm such a big fan of these guys. Philadelphia Soul, Hall & Oates, Rock and Soul Part 1, Greatest Hits. This is an awesome Greatest Hits album. It sounds amazing too. I don't have a lot of Hall & Oates studio albums and don't play them, but I do play. I've got a live album, Live at the Troubadour, which I absolutely love. My wife's a big fan too. We play that all the time. But this Greatest Hits album gets maybe... The top 3, the reason they're my top 3 is because they're the ones that I actually play a hell of a lot, and this is one of them. Say It Isn't So, Sarah Smile, She's Gone, Rich Girl, Kiss on My Lips, on my list, You Make My Dreams Come True, Private Eyes, Adult Education, I Can't Go For That, Man Eater, One on One, and Wait For Me. Again, I think essential. Number 2, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I play this a hell of a lot. I've got it on vinyl too. One of the best greatest hits albums ever. It's just loaded with songs, man. American Girl and Breakdown and Refugee and Don't Do Me Like That and even The Losers. Here Comes My Girl, The Waiting. Oh man, I Won't Back Down. Running from Down a Dream, Free Fall and Learning to Fly. Mary Jane's Last Dance and a great cover of Something in the Air. Again, this gets a lot of love in my house, so it's number 2. Number 1, you know I'm on a Bowie kick, obsessed, but even before I became obsessed with Bowie, this is a greatest hits album that always has gotten play in my house. Changes One Bowie, fantastic. Probably my favorite greatest hits album of all time. Space Oddity and Changes and Ziggy Stardust and Suffragette City, Genie, Diamond Dogs, Rebel, Young Americans, and actually the full version, not like that Best of Bowie crap. The Fame 90 remix, which is like a dance mix. Golden Years, Heroes, Ashes to Ashes, Fashion, Let's Dance, China Girl, Modern Love, Blue Jean, number 1 as my greatest hits album. So, thank you. That was almost 25 minutes, so I'm going to let you guys go. Please let me know what your favorite great hits albums are. There's a million of them, and I'm sure I missed a ton. But thanks for watching. I appreciate commenting, pushing the like button, do whatever the heck you like. We'll talk soon.